We're still working on this.
All the time.
We're still working
All the
on
time.
this.
Yeah.
The
All we
difference-
do is try to clarify.
The difference between what you say and what you mean
right.
is
Mhm.
something that I'm still
It's a
trying
mystery.
to wrap my brain
It
around.
is. It's okay. Welcome to this week's episode of Teaching Keating.
Hey, Momo. Words.
Oh, don't even. That's somebody else. Somebody at church the other day was like, Esther calls you Mo all the time. Sorry, random side note. We're going to go on a bird walk for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, it's my nickname. And he was like, what is it? And I go, it's just my nickname. Like my whole life, I never heard the word Molly. And he was like, what?
Because what the name Molly really needs
Yes.
is an abbreviation.
I know. It's very
So many
long,
words.
real mouthful.
Says
Too many
Kishnik.
syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So he was asking me, he was like, I don't get the Mo. And I said, well, it's just my nickname. Everybody who I love calls me Mo, not Molly. I said, but you have to know me a certain way. And he was like, so I can't call you that? And I was like, well, you can, because now you just brought it up to me. So I don't mind it.
It would
I just
be
may
weird for me
not
to tell you
answer
no.
it. Yeah, it would be weird for me and also rude for you. Anyway, hence the Mo. You
But
just said it.
You've
Mhm.
had that before where people have called you Mo
Yeah.
who don't really know you because they've heard me or somebody else say
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And you have a
And
real
I'll do-
response to it.
I don't have a real response. I probably just
One that
don't
I can
have a
see.
response at all. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm-
Our daughter has it though too. She doesn't like people to call her Char if they don't know her. She's like, you can call me Charlotte.
Yeah.
She will correct you.
Yeah, she'll say it out loud.
Yes. I don't necessarily correct people. I won't say, you can call me Molly.
No,
I
that-
just will be like, oh, hello.
That would be weird.
Please don't ever call me that
So if
again.
you meet Molly on
You
the road,
don't have that much familiarity with me. It's just a weird thing. Everyone who knows you well calls you Weston. No one
people who know me well do
Yes.
the reverse.
do the reverse.
They call me Weston.
Yes.
People who don't will call
Yes.
me Wes.
Which is how you introduce yourself. That makes perfect sense.
To certain people,
Sure.
because that's how I differentiate.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. If you're my people and
Yeah.
like we're at home,
Understand.
I'll introduce people in my personal life
Mhm.
as Weston, but
Mhm.
when I'm on the road, oftentimes I'll introduce myself as Wes.
Yeah.
So then when I meet people on the road, they're like,
You can-
"Hey,"
you
and
can
they're like,
clear.
"Hey, Wes."
Mhm.
I immediately know, oh, this is a work relationship.
Yes.
Or if it's Weston, it's just like, okay, I met this person in a personal
Yes. I did that
circumstance.
unintentionally. Because not many people know that they can call me Mo unless you are in my inner circle.
Correct.
In which case, then you know that's my name.
Totally
Anyway,
unrelated to
side
today's
note,
topic.
let's talk about communication between men and women.
I'm
That was a great start because
I'm-
we're really differentiating communication. It's good.
I'm dying to ask you so many questions.
Oh, really?
And unlock the code.
Oh, there's no code. I don't know if I don't
There's
know
a
if you'll
code.
unlock it. Okay.
I'm
let's
certain
try.
that I won't unlock it,
Great.
but I'm dying to know why we
Yes.
miss
Yeah.
so often in terms
Okay.
of our communication.
How did this start though? I was talking to my sister and she was just talking about marriage and the differences between communication between men and women. Like I say certain things, my husband hears something different. And you and I were laughing. We're like, oh, welcome to life. Like that's
Yeah.
all communication between men and women. Like every communication. But we find this a lot. And we said we've had a lot of experiences, robust conversations, and
We're
some
s-
not so.
We're still working on this.
All the time.
We're still working
All the
on
time.
this.
Yeah.
The
All we do
difference-
is try to clarify.
The difference between what you say and what you mean
Right.
is
Mhm.
something that I'm still
It's a
trying
mystery.
to wrap my brain
It
around.
is. It's okay. Well, maybe
so
by the time.
Can I
Go
can I just pepper you with questions?
Okay.
So
Sure.
like I feel like in our relationship, and this is true. So this is something that I'm sure men and women all talk about. Like
Okay.
like when I'm with my buddies,
Yes.
like we talk about like, man, I just don't feel like insert spouse here
Sure.
or insert significant other here, where
Right.
it's just like, I don't feel like they're hearing me at all.
right.
And I feel like in any relationship, and this is not just necessarily like gender exclusive,
Sure.
but like I feel like there's always a listener and always a fixer.
I mean, I
And-
feel like maybe sometimes it is a little gender exclusive, and I'm not trying to.
That's fair.
I'm not trying to remove everybody, but I'm just saying I know that I do think really differently than you.
Yes.
And I do
It
agree
tracks-
with your point that there's probably a fixer, and there's definitely different
Who's
personality
the listener?
types.
Who's the fixer in our relationship?
I mean, you're the fixer,
100%.
but I don't know that I'm the listener.
This is okay. Why?
I don't
why do
know
you
if
say
you're
that?
the listener. I just don't. Well, I don't know. I need more. I need more clarification about like where you're going with this because I don't know. I don't always try to fix
Here's
things for you, but
I'm
there's a certain
always trying to fix things for
all
you.
the time.
Yes.
So that's 100% true. You
Yes.
are the fixer.
Yes.
Solution,
don't-
solution, solution, solution,
Why-
solution, solution,
Why
solution,
do you
all the
hate
time.
that? So, because I'm of the mindset like, oh, Molly's talking to me about a problem.
I'll just go ahead and tell her the answer to fix it.
Here's how you fix this problem. And then you get mad.
All
that
these
I've-
women in the car, like they're listening right now, are watching, like screaming
And
at
then
you.
you get
like,
mad
through
that
the
I've
screen.
proposed a solution to
Yes,
the problem.
uh-huh.
Unwrap the mystery that is that moment for me. Why are you so mad?
I'm not okay. Let's just talk about
Why
the
don't you want a
differences-
solution?
because I don't need you to provide the solution. I just need to provide, I need you to be the sounding board for me to sort out the feelings and emotions and then move all of that to the side and think through like the reason after the emotions and mess of whatever is coming up. I need all of that out and then I got to scoot that over and then I need the reason and then ultimately pathway forward. But I don't need you to provide it. I just need you to sit there and like have a conversation and accompany me on the journey of of chatting that and hearing that out and not necessarily providing a fix or a solution. But I understand that that's your brain.
Why can't
and then
you,
that's how it works.
Why
Go
can't
ahead.
you tell me that before the conversation? Give me
That is a known thing.
No.
Okay. So
No.
there you go.
This
I
is-
just said it. Now you know. It is known.
Is that always true? You so like why can't you just tell me like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this thing. I don't need a solution. I just
tell
need
you that all the time.
Disagree.
Okay.
Disagree.
Okay.
But why can't you just give me that preamble to say like, hey, it's not solution time. I just need you to listen to this
Accompany me.
complaint.
Yes.
And when an obvious solution to this problem pops into your head that would be extraordinarily helpful, keep it to yourself.
This sounds like a bait. Is it always an extraordinary helpful solution? That's the
In my
misnomer. Yeah, in your mind, you think, "Oh, this is going to be so helpful. I should just tell her immediately.
Yeah.
I can solve this right now."
I have great news. I have great news.
That's not usually
I
how
have
it
the
goes.
solution to this problem.
You have a solution to our problem of you needing to find a solution to everything all the time and not wanting to.
No, I don't
accompany?
have a solution
Okay.
to that problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do. I just proposed a solution. Tell me before.
Okay. I'll tell you before.
What an incredible solution I've
No
provided.
solution needed.
Okay.
And that just goes on in perpetuity for
Okay.
forever with our conversation.
I'm going to start asking.
Okay.
Because if you don't tell me, I'm going to start asking you like, hey,
Sure.
do you want a solution? But this feels like this. Hey, do you want a solution to this or do you want me to just listen?
I never want a solution.
Why?
I just need to listen.
I don't understand.
Because that's men and women.
I really don't understand.
I don't need you to provide solutions all the time. Sometimes you just gotta not fix it. And that's gotta be where you sit with it. And that's okay. Just like sometimes I need to not tell you the answer to things and you need to ruminate and ruminate and ruminate.
This is different because
How is this different?
Because you will somehow Jedi mind trick this to like, you won't tell me the solution.
Yes.
But you'll make me think of a solution and you'll make me think it's my idea.
Great. I just think
I don't know how to do that.
I know, but communication. Okay. So a lot of times when things are coming up and I'll just say this is unique to me, but I don't know if it's unique to women or not. I would say yes, but maybe not. Things I've already thought through a lot of solutions, right? In my thinking about a situation, X situation, whatever the problem is at hand. And I don't need the solution. I've already probably thought of one. I just need you to hear me out in the processing of it, right? That is helpful for me because then I can tell you my feelings. I can tell you how whatever the situation is, whether I feel heard or not heard, whether I feel whatever my feelings are about the situation at the time. And then we can move on from there. That's enough for me. I don't need the solution. And I do think men a lot of times just want to provide the fix. One, so they can get out of having the conversation. That's just my perception. Not always true of you, but a fair amount I would say. You're like, okay, can we be done with this yet? I feel like you've said those exact words to me multiple times when we're having like long conversations. Are we finished with this yet? Is it over? Like our little kids in church. Are we done yet? Like that's really where
There's
I get
probably
a lot
some
of
truth to
feedback.
that.
100%. So I get a lot of feedback sometimes like, no, we're not done. No, you're going to sit here and you're going to listen to me complain about this. And then we're just going to move on with our lives and it's going to be great. I do think, I think men and women just need to get it out.
Okay.
And you need to provide solutions because that's how your brain works. And that's okay.
Okay.
I just don't always need one.
All right. Step 1.
Okay.
Never give solutions.
Period.
That's
Step 1.
There
seems... you go. Here's a question for you. Why do you feel the need to always, like, is it clean in your brain? Do you want just like a clean end to like, let's just tidy this up? And so I need to have some sort of action step.
In my mind, problems come with solutions. And why are we going to have a conversation about a problem if we aren't tag teaming solutions to this problem?
Because I've already probably come up with solutions. I just need to process everything out.
But it sounds like,
it's not collaborative.
But if you already have the solutions,
yes,
then why are we processing? It sounds like you already did that.
Because I did, but I need to have it out with you, right? Like, I just had a bad thought. I'll say it. But I was going to say, like, if you are part of the problem, you also can't come up with a solution. So, like, sometimes I just need to say to you.
How often am I part of the problem? A lot. Okay.
I would say 50% of the time.
Yeah, that's generous.
Okay.
That's generous.
Okay.
I'm sure it's more than that.
Well, I'm trying to be gracious. Okay. I think, you're not intentionally trying to muddy the waters. Sometimes you just do. And so part of me is needing to have a conversation about like, hey, let's clean this up. Let's not muddy the waters anymore, but I don't need you to come with any more solutions. I got it. Here's where your role is in this whole situation. Okay. And there you have it. And then that's just it. And I think that clarity is important for
I do think
couples.
I'm closer to cracking the code.
Okay, good.
So that's okay. Step 1, solutions are bad.
They're not bad. They're just
solutions
not
from
always,
me are bad.
They're not always needed.
Okay.
Unless I come to you with specific language that says, hey, I am looking for your very clear and specific feedback about how to resolve
We have been married for almost 16
problem.
years, and you have never once, not ever said that to me.
And yet you still think I'm coming to you looking for solutions.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's getting clear. Is it getting clear?
Okay. Yep. That's okay.
All right, good. What else?
The why is more murky than it's ever been. But the approach.
Sometimes you don't need a why.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
I mean, when it comes to the back and forth, I don't know if it's important in the moving forward of the relationship or whatever the conversation is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's talk about text versus subtext for just a minute.
Okay.
In arguments that we have.
Sure.
There have been multiple times.
Okay.
I feel like I'm navigating a minefield right
not.
now. Okay.
I'm not mad. I knew we were having this conversation.
There have been multiple times where you'll say something in an argument.
Yes.
And I'll say it back to you. And you'll say, that's not what I'm saying. And I will say, I'm repeating your exact words back to you. So when you're saying things to me in an argument, should I not listen to the words?
You should.
But.
There's no but.
And.
You should also use inferences. I don't know. I get it. I get you this is where it feels like a minefield and it feels really murky. I understand. So I'll just use an example. Like you went out with your buddies a couple weeks ago to watch sports and have a few beers.
I got a group of guys that I go out with once a month. And yes.
And that's on the calendar. It's standing. So I know it's coming. That's helpful for me.
Yes.
And I will say, usually before you go, you'll be like, are you mad about this? And I will always, for the most part, say, no, I'm not mad. I'm fine. And I would say,
let me draw an inference.
So I would say,
I'm not mad. Okay.
60% of the time, I'll give it 75. That's probably true, what's coming out of my mouth. I'm not mad. However, if it has been a week where you have been on the road, like super busy, you've been gone all week, we haven't had any family time, we haven't had any shared spiritual, any of the things that I need, I haven't worked out at all, and then you go, that would be within the 15% of like, oh, I am kind of mad. Because
25%.
Oh, yeah. I taught English, everyone, but that's super funny.
I mean,
you know what I was actually...
Sorry, I checked your math. That was a solution. Damn it.
It was a great
Damn
solution.
I failed already.
Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I'm not even mad that much. I was thinking 15% of the time. I was giving myself more credit, actually.
Oh, I noticed.
Yes, that's what it was. It wasn't actually that I was doing the math. I was giving myself more credit. But sorry, anyway.
Because you said 60 to 70%, 75% of the time. That's true.
But really, I was thinking
then you were like
mostly
15% of the time.
Yeah. All of that to be said, that I really think I'm not mad those amounts of time. But if those things, the exemplars that I just gave, haven't happened during the week, then I will be pissed off about it. Not because I'm pissed off with you drinking with your buddies and watching sports. I don't care about that at all. I'm pissed off about the fact that you haven't read the room and the week that we've had, right? Here's the inference thing. You haven't read the room. You haven't seen the weeks that we've both had, and you haven't understood, like, is this probably a good week for me to go? So I would say that that's true of most relationships and most men. That is an unclear communication thing that I think a lot of women do. So that's where it gets
Why not
murky.
just tell me?
Because then you wouldn't go, and then I would feel bad. I mean, would you go? If I said...
So you'd rather me go, and then I feel bad.
No, I don't want you to feel bad at all. I just know
But that's what happens. I go, then I come home, then I was like, oh, she's mad. And then I feel bad.
You shouldn't feel bad because you went. You should feel bad because you didn't pay attention to the things that needed to happen before you left. And I would say that that's true of most relationships and or men and women. That's a different communication thing. I don't think it's fair. I would say that that's probably an unfair thing of me to expect communication wise for you. And I would say that that's true. That's true of women and men. Men listen to words. Women want you to like read between the lines.
Hypothetically,
and
how might we solve this problem? I have no solutions to offer. Go.
You tell me.
No,
I just gave you the answer.
You just told me not to give you solutions.
Okay, sorry, you're right. Okay.
This is why communicating with women is so difficult.
So I just gave you all the examples. So like before you go, that would be a smart move for you to be like, hey, do you want to go work out? Hey, is there anything we need to do as a family? Hey, is there, just like, and it shouldn't be as easy as checking boxes, but also we've been in this for 15 and a half, almost 16 years now. You know the things that I need. It's not rocket science. They tend to be the same week over week, year after year. I need good sleep. I need family time. I need shared spiritual time. I need shared meals. And, I need to work out.
There's probably women watching this right now, like looking at my face. And because if it reads confusion, accurate. But there's probably women watching this who are like, man, how's this guy so dumb? Like he doesn't understand any of this.
Yes.
And just so they know, like, I am probably representative of a lot of your husbands, boyfriends, significant others, whoever it may be. Yeah. I don't understand.
Well, and what I'm trying to tell you right now is I'm literally giving you a very clear list of things needs that need to be met.
Clear list of solutions. Got it.
That I already came up with.
And you're giving me
that
I should not give to you. Okay.
That you just need to remember on the fly before you ask to go do insert whatever it is for you.
Okay. This is related.
Okay.
This is related.
Please.
Why does I'm fine and nothing never mean I'm fine and nothing? So it's like, hey, are you okay? I'm fine. Hey, what's wrong? Nothing.
I don't. Okay.
Why do those never mean
I probably
those
do
things?
give you a nothing here and there. I very rarely give you an I'm fine. Like a lot of times I'll be like, stop picking at me. Or I'm in my head. Like I'll give you like a real specific, very rarely do I give you an I'm fine. So I don't know.
Why does nothing not mean nothing?
Right. Because of the examples I just gave you. So again, let's go back to our same scenario. You want to go have beers with your friends. It's a Saturday. You go once a month.
You seem agitated.
I'm not agitated.
I'm telling you my perspective.
Okay.
In this scenario, you seem agitated.
Yes.
I say, what's wrong? And you say nothing.
Right. Because we're in that 25% of the time where I'm actually pissed off.
Why wouldn't you say something?
Because I have already told you. You have the list right now. So like next month when you go... think back to that list, use that little Rolodex and bring it on up and then just go through the things and just go through like, okay, have you worked out this week? Because you can ask me, hey, have you worked out this week? Have we gotten enough family time that you say that you need, but also that we both need because it's a shared priority? Have you, gotten enough sleep? Have we, done anything family wise? And if any of those are no, then there's your answer. That's why nothing doesn't mean nothing.
This seems like a lot of work.
It is so much work. It's so much work. You're welcome.
Why do you not have any questions for me?
Because you said you were just going to hit me with a lot of questions. So I said, go ahead.
But here's what I feel like constantly. I feel like constantly.
Do you feel like this constantly?
Yes. I feel like I'm constantly, so like I've never solved a Rubik's Cube in my whole life. I know I could go on YouTube and figure it out.
Literally,
yes.
He did
yeah.
the YouTube videos.
I know I could go on YouTube and figure it out. I feel like my
Yes.
whole life is solving the Rubik's Cube that is your brain.
Okay.
And how you're processing communication.
Sure.
And I feel like your life is constantly looking at my brain and all the colors line up.
They do.
You don't have a single question about how I'm processing?
I know how you're processing. You tell me how you process all the time.
I know. Isn't it great for you to have that level of understanding? Wouldn't it be great if we both had that?
And both be you?
Hypothetically,
no.
not offering a solution.
No. Hypothetically, it would not be great if we both thought the same. We have to bring different things to the table. But this is the rub, right? Like, my brain doesn't think like your brain. And I like the way your brain works. I understand it. You're very clear about expressing about exactly how it works, and I'm clear about it. I have said on multiple occasions, I am paradoxical in the sense that like I think all over. And that's true. And I would say that's true of most ladies. There's a lot going on in here. And it takes a while. Not all. We're not all same. There's not one size fits all. We're all unique and beautiful human beings, and we all have our idiosyncrasies, and that's fine. But there are certain patterns that are just true.
Is there anything?
And I'm not trying to be.
What do I do other than offering?
Yes.
What do I do in an argument or a conversation that drives you crazy?
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Do you want this?
I mean, it seems like so far we're working on fixing me.
No one's fixing you. I'm just
That's
just
right.
answering your questions.
Unfixable.
I'm answering your questions.
Okay.
You do the thing when we'll go at it and you'll say things that I know for a fact, like you'll say real biting, rude things that aren't true. And my brain has to be like, that's a lie. Disregard. He doesn't mean it. I just have to have a real short memory and like throw away.
Do you want me to tell you why I do that, or do you already know?
You can tell me why.
Okay.
I think I may have an idea, but I don't know. I don't want to put you in. I'm not putting you in a box. You tell me why.
The reason why, like in hindsight, why
Sure.
I do that, and this is a terrible reason. I want to win.
Yes. Okay. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we talked about this before, like race to the bottom. You're just like, I'm pissed off. My feelings are hurt. I'm going to hurt your feelings. Over it.
I want to win.
What's the fastest route there? And I'm going to get you back and blah, and then you do. And I just ignore it. So sometimes I just don't engage.
It never
but
leads.
I have to disregard it.
It never
sometimes
leads.
you say some hurtful shit.
It
Go ahead.
never leads to a win. For me,
No,
though.
and it's funny. It never leads to a win for you. And sometimes I have to be like, okay, his feelings are hurt. He's super mad. He's saying rude stuff. I'm going to ignore it because he's going to feel bad about it later, but I'm not going to talk about it because he'll already feel bad about it. And then I'm just going to have to like let it go. And then he'll say sorry. And then I'll be like, fine, but it has to be fine before you say sorry. Cause like all of that will be going through my brain, like as you're saying it. And I'll be like, it's got throw away.
But you will also say rude and biting and hurtful
Sure.
things to me.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to win.
I just
am
get my
trying to
feelings hurt.
Yes. But I have to be really careful with that because I'm not trying to win or be right, but I am trying to tell you the truth about yourself in a moment that probably this is true. I am trying to tell you about yourself.
I am trying to tell you about yourself.
You are a unique and very complex human being. And that
it doesn't seem like it.
Well,
it seems like I'm a real simpleton.
I'll try to live.
And
yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you have to live with someone. So there are things that you just have to navigate.
Okay.
And part of me navigating that is like, I understand that about you. And I just have to let that be in those moments. I can't tell you about it, even though I do need to be able to tell you the truth about yourself when it's not convenient, right? And then I would say the majority of our arguments, the majority of time that you get hurt are me telling you something that's true when you're not in a great place to receive it. Maybe. I don't know. That's just a guess. What do you think?
Probably true.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Last question.
Okay.
Listening versus hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the same thing? Let's start
No.
there. Okay.
I mean, do you think they're the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay. Walk me through.
I think there's a lot of times where I feel like I'm listening to you, but you're upset because you don't feel like I'm hearing you.
Not heard. Right.
But I'm listening to the words.
Sure. Well, and that might be, you know, user error. I might be misinterpreting myself, or because there's emotion involved, I'm not saying exactly what I mean in the way that I need it. I'm intending to say it.
You also
in the
will say a lot. Like
I
there's
do.
like I told you we weren't going to joke about this, and we won't. But like one of the
Can't joke about it. It's funny. Go ahead.
I feel like men and women listen in very different ways. You're a very loud listener.
Yes, that's not your joke. That's Aaron Artman.
That's Aaron Artman's joke.
Yeah.
Yes, and he said at one point,
my best friend's husband.
He was like, "You're the loudest listener I've ever heard."
Amen.
Yes, and when he said that, I was like,
"You're my guy."
Yep, you are.
It's true.
But it's interesting because like when I listen to you and your friends talk to each other,
you just think we're talking over each other.
I don't think that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
You're like, how are you processing anything? None of you are hearing anything.
You're all talking at the same time. Yeah. When I have like on those days where I go out with my buddies, it's round robin.
Yep.
It's words will start and then they'll stop. And then somebody else's words will start and then they will stop. And that seems to make sense in my brain.
I mean, it does for some people. For those of us who are been used to communicating in a certain way for a really long time, we're catching it all. And so it can go at light speed. It's okay.
Those of us who are used to communicating for a really long time.
I mean, with each other. Like we've been in a relationship for 20 plus years. Our communication, we've always communicated in a pretty rapid pace,
but it
rapid
feels very
fire.
Frantic.
Yeah, probably because we don't see each other a lot, so we have to get it all out. It probably does feel frantic to you, and that's probably true in the moments that you're experiencing it. But I don't know. I'll have to ask them, but I would say that they're fine with it.
There are times when you and I are talking on the phone.
Yes.
And I realize that you've been talking for a while, and I've got some things that I want to say. And so I'll just start saying them, thinking like, well, when she hears me talking, she'll stop talking.
No. Not until I've finished my thought, which is hard for me to get out because I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere all the time. So when I got you, which is few and far between. Because
I like stories with a beginning, middle, and end.
I know, but I'm not telling you a story.
You like stories with 6 different beginnings, middles, and ends.
I like 6 different stories at the same time.
Mine is like rungs on a ladder. They go here. And yours are like branches on a tree.
Yes.
Let's swing to this branch and then this branch and then this branch. Like we're still ascending the tree.
Yeah.
But we've hit a lot of branches on the way up.
You got to move. That's how fast it goes. It's great.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Listening and hearing are two
Has this been helpful to you at all? Sorry, back to the listening and hearing.
Yes.
I think that a lot of the times, and I do use a lot of words, I'm working on my economy of language. It's not going well, but I'm still going to try. Where I want to make sure that you hear what I'm saying. So I'll probably say things 3 different times to make sure I'm getting the point across.
That's confusing.
I know it is. It muddies the water.
Because what I'm doing is I'm listening to
all the words.
All the words.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like the 3rd time I say it, I'm like, did I get it? Yes. No. Yes, I did.
Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, well, you've said it 3 different ways.
Words.
So which of these is true?
Attention to.
I'm going to assume all.
Good. You can always ask for clarification. That's helpful. Be like, hun, which of these do I need to throw away and which should I really focus on? Because there's a lot to pick and choose from.
You're having an argument.
I'll help you with that. That's
having
good.
An argument with you is like opening a faucet in Italy. You got to wait for a shitload of dirty water to run out before you get to the clean water.
I mean, probably. Yeah. And it's probably gotten worse because.
Whereas I won't bring an argument to you unless I've run out all that dirty water. And what I'm about to say to you feels exactly clean.
It feels clean, but that's not maybe the root of the issue.
What?
Yeah. Sometimes you like say a lot of things that you think that you.
If I'm bringing an argument to you, I need you to know that I've rehearsed it multiple times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've rehearsed the words and made it precise and things that you want to say.
And I've made them exactly what I want them to be.
I just sometimes will disagree that that's actually the root of your issue.
And that's where I get upset.
Yes.
Because you're wrong. Because I've thought about it a lot.
I know. But a lot of the times, is it the root of your issue?
You are talking to me as though you are talking to a small child right now.
I'm not. I'm asking you. I'm saying I've been in relationship with you. It's not always the exact issue. because we've had this conversation multiple times. Sometimes I'll have to root down after you've rehearsed your multiple things of like, great, those are all the things that you said. Now, what are you actually upset about? Like, what do you actually mean? Give me at the core of it, and then you'll have to.
And then I'll get angry because I'm like,
Yes.
I'm telling you what I mean.
Yes, but it's
Yes.
not always why you're actually upset.
False.
It's not false.
False.
No, it's not.
I'm
This
is why we miss, because I'm telling you with the clearest words that I could rehearse and think of what I'm upset about. And then you're like, well, that's not actually what you're upset about. And that is so infuriating.
I'm sure it is infuriating, and it's not trying to be disrespectful of you, because maybe sometimes it is actually what you're upset about.
It is.
But not always, honey. That actually hasn't been the case in our life or in our marriage.
You can't label what you're upset about and what I'm upset about, and then also ask me to label what you're actually upset about.
That's just saying.
Impossible.
I'm not. I'm saying you just don't always have as much clarity of the situation and the fullness of the picture. And you think you're upset about this thing, but actually at the root of it, it might be something different.
No, it's because I'm telling you what I'm upset about.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. I think we're muddying the waters. I don't think we're getting any clear. Anyway, I need to make sure that I'm heard. And you're a really good job you do great at listening.
Okay, that was my last question. Am I a good listener and am I a good hearer?
You're a great listener. You're not always a great hearer. Yeah.
I can hear that.
Thanks. What about me?
Oh.
I'm a loud listener.
You're a loud listener. You don't.
I'm an out loud processor.
You don't listen in the way that I would like you to listen.
Which is silently.
I have said to you multiple times, because there will be times when you'll be bringing something to me and you'll get angry. You're like, why aren't you talking? And I will say, this is what listening sounds like. Also not helpful.
And you do it a lot.
Yeah.
And I have to say, our children have started to pick it up, which I don't love. Mostly our son, like, Mom, I'm just listening. I was like, that's not for you.
But
you're not allowed to use that.
But he is.
I mean, maybe.
So, like, are you a good listener? You don't listen in the way that
active listener?
That's a friendly way of putting it. Yes. You don't always listen in the way that I would like you to listen, which is like, all right, let me get the things out.
Because you've rehearsed them so much in your brain, you need to make sure they're out exactly appropriately.
Yeah.
But that's not a conversation. That's not collaborative. It's like I listen, like it's batted back and forth. It's a tennis match, man. We got to bat this thing back and forth.
But to use your analogy, there's a point where you have the ball and then I have the ball. We're not playing tennis with multiple balls.
Yeah, but sometimes we're Venus and Serena and we just got to bat that shit back and forth like really hard.
Yes.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. Back and forth.
Fast. Quickly.
You want us
collaboratively
both playing at the net. Like,
yeah. Psh, 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 psh. That's it.
No, I want to play on the baseline.
No. That's not our life. That's not who you married. Do you have any more clarity than you did before?
I do.
No. Do you?
I do. I have clarity about the technique and mechanics.
Sure.
I have less clarity than before about the why.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It feels, you know what it feels like?
What?
This feels like being a math student for me all over again.
Oh.
Where it's like.
It's vulnerable.
Well, where it's like the only time I did well in math is like, okay, just let me memorize the equation and the steps to the equation. I don't know why it works.
Right.
But I know that if I do this, this, and this, it'll lead me to the solution.
Well, it will be more helpful for you. That's the thing about human beings. It's like there are things that will help you get to a solution that are more efficient. But at the end of the day, it's a human being.
You want to talk about efficiency and getting to solutions?
I'm just saying.
Nothing that you've labeled is about efficiently arriving at solutions.
Patterns will help you be more efficient relationally and help you get to the solution that I will ultimately come up with.
Not help us, will help me.
Help us. Help us in our communication.
Got it. All right.
And rather than missing the boats and not crossing strings. Crossing strings, crossing wires.
Crossing strings.
All the things.
All the things.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Hopefully that was clear for you.
It's super clearish.
Yeah.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Teaching Keating. Join us next week for Active Listening by Weston. As always, you can find us anywhere podcasts are listened to. Find us on all the social media platforms. Hit like, hit subscribe. You can find me this week in West Virginia, and you can find me this week in Illinois.
Okay,
again.
good. I was gonna say, do you remember?
Again, yeah, Illinois and West Virginia this week.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Molly, where can we
I'm gonna
find
be
you?
at dance conventions. It's a really big deal right now. Convention season for dancers at hotels. If you see them, run the other way. Get out of the hotel. Get a different place to stay.
Because it's filled with very excited dance girls
and
a bunch of parents who are like,
Oh.
I'm here for 6 hours
Yeah.
and I will see 6 minutes of my
way
child
longer.
dancing.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so just hanging in, doing that. It's great times.
All right, we'll see you guys on next week's episode. Be well.